What's up, witch wizards, and I guess hi to even your muggles as well. As you tell by the description of this video, because you clicked it, so I would hope you know what you're watching, because you clicked on, yeah, whatever. So this video is 10 characters that were left out from the Harry Potter movies that were in the books. So yeah, this isn't a complete list. Obviously there's a bunch. These are just 10 that I felt were the most important, and we're going to cover those 10, and yeah. So a few of these characters I'm going to mention, they appear as like they're in the background, or like they're mentioned, but they don't have a role as they do in the books. Like in the books they have an actual role, where they have scenes with them in it, and in the movies they're either just not there at all, or they're mentioned, like they're just talked about, or they're in the background. So yeah, a few of these characters might have made it into the movies, but they don't have the roles they did in the books. So yeah, let's get into it. First off is Dennis Creevey. That is Colin Creevey's little brother. Now, we meet Colin Creevey in the Chamber of Secrets. He's a kid with the camera. You know, he's Harry Potter's biggest fan. And the next year, Dennis Creevey comes, Colin Creevey's little brother, and we meet him. And the first thing we get introduced to him in the books is he falls in the lake when they're crossing the lake with the boats. So Dennis is just not in the movie at all. So sorry, Dennis. Next is Hepzibah Smith. I hope I said that right, but that's how Jim Dale says it in the audiobook, so that's how it should be, in my opinion. But yeah, Hepzibah Smith. For those who didn't read the books, Hepzibah Smith is a character in which Harry and Dumbledore, when they're looking into the pensive about Voldemort's past, when Voldemort's working for Borgin and Burkes, he goes to Hepzibah Smith's house, and she has Slytherin's locket, and she has Hufflepuff's cup. So Voldemort then kills her, blames the house elf for poisoning her, and takes the stuff. So that scene is left out of the movies, but apparently, from what we can tell, in the upcoming film that features the fan film that features the past of Tom Riddle, she's going to be in there apparently. So yeah, that's cool. Next is Professor Binns. Professor Binns is the ghost teacher that teaches history of magic. Now, in the books, they're always saying how boring his class is, how they keep falling asleep, but like, you have a ghost teaching you about history of magic. That sounds awesome. Like, how do you fall asleep during that? Come on, Harry. Get your shit together, bro. Next is going to be Neville's grandmother. Now, from what I can tell by looking online, that you can see her in the background of one of the movies, like she's with Neville accompanying him, and obviously her clothes are mentioned in the scene with the Bogart in Prisoner of Azkaban. But in the she actually does make a few appearances in the books. You know, she when they run the whole scene with her in St. Mungo's, where Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ginny run into Neville visiting his parents in St. Mungo's, she's there. There's a lot more with her in the books. And the movies, I think she's just a background character. She's mentioned a few times, but we actually get to meet her a few times in the books. Next is going to be Ludo Bagman. Now, Ludo Bagman plays a big part in the Goblet of Fire in the books. He's a big ministry worker. I think if I remember correctly, top of my head, he's in charge of the Department of Sports and Games. Something like that. I'm sorry, it's late. But yeah, so Ludo Bagman's big. He makes a bet with Fred and George, and he winds up losing the bet. He owes them a lot of money. He's always trying to help Harry out, because he's placing bets on him. Ludo's just a big part of the Goblet of Fire in the books, and he's just not mentioned at all in the movies. Next is Winky the House Elf. Now, also in Goblet of Fire, Winky the House Elf is a character that she is Barty Crouch's personal house elf, and there's like a big conspiracy with her, because when the Dark Mark is cast after the Quidditch World Cup, she is found holding Harry's wand, which was the wand that casted the Dark Mark. It found out that she was actually harboring Barty Crouch Jr. She was helping him a lot. But yeah, Winky was completely left out, and then her and Dobby become friends, and Winky gets a drinking problem with butterbeer, and yeah, Winky was just left out. Charlie Weasley. You couldn't just let us meet all the Weasleys. Like, you left out one. Charlie Weasley, he's mentioned, I know he's mentioned, I believe in the Sorcerer's Stone, because he says, Ron says his parents are going to visit his brother Charlie in Romania, and technically in the Prisoner of Azkaban, when they have the photo of the Weasleys I believe they say you can see Charlie in the background, but we're never introduced to Charlie Weasley. He's actually in the books. You meet him a couple times. He's there for the Quidditch World Cup. Takes Norbert away in the beginning of the Sorcerer's Stone. There's a few. Charlie is there quite a few times in the book, and in the movie he's only referenced. You couldn't just let us meet all the Weasley brothers. Next is the Gaunts. Now the Gaunts is Riddle's ancestors. Now a lot of the scenes that are left out where Harry and Dumbledore go into the Pensieve to find out more about Tom Riddle's Voldemort's past, and the Gaunts is his ancestors. So we find out a lot about Morphine. We just find out a lot about the Gaunts and how everything happened, and how Tom discovers that they're his ancestors, and how Merope, who is Tom's mother, uses a love potion on the Muggle Tom Riddle, Voldemort's father, to fall in love, and how there's just a lot of background history you find out with all the Gaunts, and that's all just left out, unfortunately. Next is Teddy Lupin. Now if you watch my last video, or my older videos about 100 things that were left out from the movies that were in the books, I reference him as Ted Tonks. Unfortunately, I was long video shooting, and all the comments were just people saying, "You mean Ted Tonks?" My bad. Here's my official apology. It's in a different video, but official apology. I messed up. Long video shooting. But yeah, Teddy Lupin is Remus and Tonks' son. Now, Harry becomes the godfather of Teddy Lupin, and it's really important, I feel, because a lot of people say that Teddy Lupin is kind of to show how war leaves orphans. How Harry was left an orphan because of the beginning, the war in the beginning before the series started, where Harry's parents were killed. During the Battle of Hogwarts, Remus and Tonks were unfortunately killed. R.I.P. So it kind of shows that war will leave orphans, and Harry becomes the godfather, and Harry makes sure that Ted Tonks has I did it again. Wow. How Teddy Lupin will have, has a place to stay. He stays over their house all the time. And yeah, apparently they casted someone to play Teddy Lupin but he just never made it to the screen, unfortunately. And the last one, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you can easily guess who's last. You're probably like, how has he not mentioned him yet? Peeves. Peeves the Poltergeist. Peeves plays a huge part in the books. He is in so many scenes in the books. He's awesome. I would have loved to see him in the movies. Apparently they casted someone. They shot all the scenes for it in the Sorcerer's Stone, but he just never made the final cut, unfortunately. But I would have loved to see Peeves. I mean, I know Peeves was featured in a few of the video games, but yeah, Peeves is just a poltergeist, and Peeves is, I think he's in every single book. Yeah, he definitely is. But Peeves is always funny. He's always causing trouble. Him and Filch are just great going at it, but Peeves was never made it into the movies. Very sad. So yeah, there you have it. That is 10 characters that were in the books, but not in the movies. Well, some of them were not mentioned at all, but a lot of them were mentioned, but just didn't have a dominant role like they did in the books. So yeah, if you have more characters that are left out, please comment them down below. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any disagreements, comment them, feel free to comment. I know the last video I said Oliver Wood wasn't there in the Battle of Hogwarts, and someone said he made a cameo, and boom, he did. That was really cool. So please, if I missed something, I want to learn some more. Comment down below. I read all the comments. So yeah. But yeah, have a great magical day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe and watch for more Harry Potter content. Peace.